Them pretty girls brought that belt out. Belt out. I was super excited to see this so we can get a sneak peek of what we know just happened yesterday with Alexis and Lauren. I saw what I needed to see. I knew what I knew. I knew what I was going to see. I just needed to see it for sure. Alexis, she probably tore her up last night. But we'll get to it. But if you're new here, hit subscribe. Thumbs up the video. Drop your comments down below. Subscribe if you're new. Caribbean, shout out to Caribbean. Caribbean, they tried to pull some hate train out on her. I'm glad she brought that belt too. Two pretty girls that they're going to learn to stop playing with. But let's go. Let's go. All right, so we get back where we left off. Essentially, it was a little bit before where we left off because we left off with Nugg and Mel, but we got to see the beginning part when they got off the bus. So Kee Baby was like, them bitches' hearts dropped when they saw Mel sitting there, and did. But Lauren's weak ass. We see a little bit like the shaky part of the camera where she goes and sneaks Alexis. Like weak. But we then get Mel versus Nugg. So they was going blow for blow. Like the first part of this, they was just boom, exchange. And Nugg's right hand was connecting a little bit harder on the back of Mel's head. And you could see Mel kind of like swing to grab. And I thought she might have been swimming at this point. I was like, no, Mel, don't do this. But no, that was tactic. Mel swung her around, got her head down, and got the uppercut. And when Mel got the uppercut, and that's when she took over. Mel took over, and she got Nugg. Nugg, you can't get Mel. You can't get her. You cannot get her. She looked like she was about to at least give a tie, but no. Mel finished it. I was getting nervous, but Mel finished it. So, yeah, Mel beat Nugg. She did. And Legacy had to jump in, too. That's the funny part, because Legacy was like, they're going two blow for blow, like back and forth for me to sit here and just watch. So she jumped in, too. I ain't mad at it, because we saw what Nugg did last season. So, I mean, it's an eye for an eye. But security breaks that up. And Legacy is telling Mel, get her. And Nugg then asks if anybody else has anything to say. Do they want something? And Nugg ends up asking Legacy if she needs that. So they start squaring up. And, of course, Legacy's not stupid. She's like, I'm not going to keep running into her at this point. Like, I'm not going to run into her. I'm going to let her come to me, especially because Mel is sitting back there circling behind Legacy. Because the minute Nugg comes, Mel going to come too. And Nugg knew better than to do that because she knew Mel was coming. Like, Nugg knew better than to try it with Mel. But Nugg didn't want to run it with her. But Mel then walks over to Lauren and swings on her. Legacy tries to jump on her. Nugg gets on top of Legacy, starts jumping on her. So Lauren ends up backing Mel into the couch. Backed her into the couch, started tagging Mel while Mel was sitting on the couch. Lauren's on top just banging. Considering what we saw after this, if Mel was fresh, I think she would have tore Lauren up. I do. But she got Mel on the couch. Kennedy's punk ass still running that mouth. She ran that mouth the entire episode when she had no business speaking on anything that she was talking about. But we'll get to it. But she talking her shit about Mel in the confessionals, about Mel thinking that she could get Lauren. You don't even want to fight Lauren because you know Lauren's going to tear you up. So why are you even speaking about somebody thinking they're going to get somebody? You thought you was going to be able to get Alexis and she tore you up too. Like, you cannot speak. But they do round two, and both of them were windmilling at first. But Lauren then ended up backing Mel up. I ain't like it because Mel's head was down the whole time, and that's what I want Mel to start doing. Lift that head up. Because if Mel had her head up, it would be a game changer for Mel. Mel could do a lot more damage with that head up. But you could tell she was tired. She even stated it too, bitch, I'm tired. So Kennedy is still running that mouth again. Still running it. But Lauren is sitting there talking about she the new star, young and reckless. Stating this right now. I said, oh, Alexis about to get you and show you who the real star is. So Alexis was like, Lauren was mad that she got snuck earlier with Mel and as well with Minnie. Yet you sneaking me. Like I said, I don't care that she had these rings on. It's an eye for an eye. You sneak me and catch me off guard, I'm going to keep my rings on too, and I'm going to really do you in. So Alexis is like, where's the big bitch at? Where is she at? Security says she's right there. So she comes walking in there. They square it up. Legacy got that kick. I'm not Legacy. Alexis got that kick punch combo. And they was in there. But Alexis had Lauren trying to hug because Alexis was hitting her clean face shots. And Lauren was literally swimming, and she punching, but she missing. Alexis is punching and connecting. What did I tell y'all episode 1? This girl knows what she's doing. The only flaw in Alexis's fight and her fighting technique is the fact that she has her head down. And like she stated, she just don't want to get hit in the face. But she's an athlete too. Y'all don't know that. She played basketball. So being an athlete, you just naturally have that dog in you. So she's strong too. Because Lauren is big. Lauren is big. I ain't gonna say she's fat, but she's big. Alexis is little. And Alexis was backing her up, just clean face shots. And even without the ring, Lauren did not do anything to Alexis. Did not do nothing to her. But they ended up breaking that up. And Alexis like, bitch, you ain't doing shit. She ain't do shit. Which is what made me say, okay, well, I can't wait to see what happened last night. Because everybody that was on the cast was stating that they had the best rounds and the best fight. Which I'm pretty sure they did. But Alexis can't get no work. Alexis is undefeated. Undefeated. Every fight that she's had on this show, she has not lost. Has not lost. BTA every single fight. Like, being that pretty and being able to handle yourself like that, that's a deadly combo. That's a perfect woman. That is a perfect woman. But she split that forehead. That forehead is bleeding. And it's probably because of that ring, but regardless, fist connected to the face. So couldn't have happened without her connecting that face. And it's funny because Lauren tried to say that she scratched her. No, she ain't scratched you. She popped you in the face with that fist, and that ring did the rest of it. But Lauren sitting there talking about she got rings on. She got rings on. And I'm like, you snuck her. You can't talk about nobody doing anything. Like, you snuck her. And she talking about she want that again. I say, I bet you do want it again. But Alexis told her to shut up. You snuck me. You should have made sure I had them rings off, bitch. You bald head ass bitch. She's just talking shit. Talking that shit. Alexis gonna talk it, but she can back it up. But Lauren is now outside in the field wanting another round. And she's in the grass. Alexis don't want to fight in the grass. She want to fight inside. So she ain't fighting in the grass. I don't blame her. But we then moved to Nugg, Yaz, Hennessy, Kayla, and Ferrari. They're outside talking to Lauren about what had happened with Mel. So Nugg is in there talking about, you did your shit. With Mel, she did, but only because Mel was tired. Like, I wish Mel would have went to that reunion so we would have gotten a clean head up with just the two of them. I feel like Mel would have did her in. But, and I'm sitting there like, Nugg, it's rich for you talking about her doing her shit. Nugg got you, not Nugg, Mel got you. But Lauren's hyped up about how she did Mel, and Lauren then states too that she felt like Mel was trying to sneak her, so she was ready for it. But Ferrari didn't ask if Lauren and Nene are good. And Lauren's like, do you want to talking to Nene, who's still standing out there too? And Nene's like, yeah. But then Lauren then says that she fucks with Nene and don't give a fuck about Nene because the producers asked her how she felt about Nene voting her out, and she said she don't give a fuck. Yet you was ready to fight Minnie, you was ready to fight Alexis, you was ready to fight Legacy, but you don't want to fight Nene? Picking and choosing. So Lauren then says that Nene has said what she has said, and that's her opinion, and she don't feel like she has to fight every bitch. Like I just stated, but you wanted to fight them, but you ducked. I don't want to say you ducked Nene. And then you didn't fight Kennedy, who was talking all types of crazy shit about you. You was mad at Legacy because of Ferrari. Had nothing to do with you. You was mad at Minnie. I mean, rightfully so with Minnie, because Minnie did start with you, but you still wanted to keep fighting her. You was mad at Alexis for literally exposing what you got online, trying to act like somebody was PC'd up. Exposing the fact that you copped a plea, yet you don't want to fight the person that wants you to go home. It don't make no sense to me. But Kee Baby clocked her in her confessionals talking about how Lauren was quick to fight Minnie, but wasn't on that with Nene, and says that she'd just be out here picking and choosing, which is the truth. But Kennedy starts instigating Minnie versus Lauren. And I'm like, why are you even instigating shit with Lauren and somebody else fighting when you haven't even fought her yet? But Minnie says, I ain't even sneak her, because she basically tried to make it seem like she snuck her. Minnie did sneak Lauren, but she was like, Lauren had her guard up. She was ready, essentially. But Nugg is telling her, just get it with Lauren, just get it out the way right now. And Kee Baby then addresses Nugg, because she's like, you've been trolling me. Let's get it right now. Kayla's sitting there talking about something. You know that her arm is fucked up. And if I want to get you, I want to get you. It don't matter what condition you're in. I'm going to get you when I want to get you. So Nugg is sitting there talking about, so why would you call me out when I just told you that? And but Kee Baby then states, like, I wanted it with you because you've been nitpicking it with me the whole season, which she has been. And Nugg says eventually that she needs that. But Kayla's sitting there talking about something. You ain't got to get it. I get it for you. Kayla then throws a drink on Kee Baby, and security gets in between them. And then you got Nugg over here who's throwing water at her as well. So if your arm is too hurt to throw fists, your arm should still be hurt to throw a water bottle, or to throw water at her, which is what Kee Baby basically stated. Don't throw water if your arm hurts. But Kayla then tries to sneak Kee. Let me get to it. Kee Baby was in there with her. Kee Baby was in. I was very, very impressed. I was like, you in there with somebody that's big and hits hard. And Kee Baby was in there with her, like in there, uppercuts, landing them uppercuts. In my opinion, Kee Baby won both of them rounds. Like, Kayla was hitting back too, but Kee Baby was getting her. Like, catching her for real, for real. Busted her lip, everything. But Kayla sitting there talking about something, so y'all want to keep rebusting my lip. You decided to take that phase, so it's not your fault that Kee Baby was connecting on your face. Like, it's not her fault. But now she's sitting there talking about some Kee Baby ain't gonna sleep on the dead homies, yada, yada, yada. So, Lauren and Minnie, they run theirs. Hold on. When I tell you they was going back and forth, but let me tell you this. Minnie was catching Lauren, catching her. She was getting her with uppercuts, everything. Lauren really only got on top of Minnie. She only got Minnie when she got on top of Minnie. But if we doing hit counts, if you're going to count how many hits connected, Minnie won. And it wasn't even close. It was not even close. But Lauren is sitting there talking about some, well, no, because Minnie cracked me up. Because Minnie said that Lauren want to be Mufasa, and I'm not trying to be Scar. Minnie's grown on me. She really has grown on me. But Lauren then says that security keeps trying to save her because every time she gets on top, I said that's the only way that you can win is by getting on top of her. Because she's actually beating you when you're on your feet. Which makes me think too, because Lauren last night, if y'all didn't follow like the whole social media of everything going on whenever the reunion finished, she was the first one to get online typing that she had Minnie in a tornado. Essentially, that's what she was stating. And then she claims that Alexis stopped running rounds with her, didn't want to fight her again, when everybody stated that they ran 3 rounds. So why am I keep fighting you after 3 rounds, especially if I'm beating you? But my whole point in stating that, she said all of this on a black screen. Black screen. We didn't see her face at all. Alexis and Minnie both showed their faces, and not one of them has a scratch. But the one that's doing the most talking has not shown her face. Let that sink in. Especially watching how these fights went down. Please. But Mel and Alexis, they're in the living room, and Mel is checking the absolute fuck out of Ferrari. And I was getting my entire life watching it because it was about time somebody did. And she's like, why are you sitting here getting bitches to fight Legacy for some shit that you got an issue with? Which is true. But she's like, if you want to fight, call it out and fight your own shit. Ferrari's sitting there trying to act tough in them confessionals. That's why it seems like the only person that fought her last night was Legacy, but I feel like a lot of these girls should have literally beat her head in at that reunion. Because she talked too much. She get in them confessionals, be acting like she tough, talking crazy about these people, but will never do that shit up in their face. Like, never will. But she then tells Mel that she don't have to speak for Legacy. And Mel was like, yeah, I do. That's my bitch. Like, you would talk for your bitches. I'm going to talk for mine. But Mel then tells her, too, like, where's the food at, bitch? She be hoeing her. You could tell Ferrari knows that's what she's trying to do. And she's trying to act like she's not letting her do it. But she knows better than to pipe up at Mel. She would never have that energy that she tries to have with Legacy with Mel. She knows better. And Mel knows that she won't do it. So Alexis is sitting there cracking up like me. And Mel says, like, you ain't got shit anywhere in here. You call yourself a boss. You ain't really running shit. Like, shut the fuck up. And that's what she did. But Ferrari's sitting there saying bitches only know Mel in her confessionals for being a porta potty and fighting outside. I said, you knew to say that in that confessional. Because if you would have said that to her in real time, and it's funny that she stated that because of what she states later on, but we'll get to it. But Ferrari then states it, and she's still feeling like a gangster in them confessionals, still talking shit, just running her mouth. But we then move to Nugg at Mel and Legacy's room with Kayla, pretty much trying to, like, I guess, squash it. That's what I thought. She's pretty much like, we don't have to be cool, but, like, let's just go our own way. Mel was like, I mean, we can do that. And Nugg says, like, if the petty shit keeps going, we can just get to rumbling. And Mel says, we can do that too. Like, we can do it every time. But Nugg pretty much, you can tell Nugg wants to be friends with him. Like, let's keep it real. But Nugg says, like, I don't want people thinking that somebody is scared. And Mel was like, I never said that you were scared of me. I never said that. Nugg was like, you know how the fans be dick eating. Mel said what I was thinking. You be listening to the fans. You value what the fans think. And then Nugg sits there and says, you do too. Mel says, no, I felt the way that I felt about you because that's how I felt. And we all know that to be true because if you watch the end of season 2, she found out that Nugg had a part in Ivory throwing that piss on her. And she stated at the end in the final scene was her confessionals where she stated she was getting every bitch that had something to do with it. And she stated she was getting Nugg. That was before the season even aired. The fans didn't even know what happened at that point. So she been waiting to get you, which is proving her point. Like, I don't need the fans to tell me what to do. You the one to need the fans. But Nugg then states that. Mel says what she said. They seemingly did the beef or whatever, and they both start laughing about basically being cordial. And then the whole sneaking and shit. Mel said, don't sneak me again. And they start laughing about the reunion where, Nugg snuck her. But they start getting ready for the night. We then see a scene that's foreshadowing the rest, which is Caribbean pretty much dancing for Kayla, who volunteered for Caribbean to do it. Caribbean's a bad bitch. Like she bad too. Like her, Alexis, in my opinion, if I'm talking about the prettiest girls on this season, it's her, Alexis, and Chastity for me. Like it's those three. But everybody's by the pool at this point. And Hennessy's sitting there stating that everybody pretty much is trying to be cute or whatever, even though there's tension here. So Caribbean then asked somebody to put her on game because they basically talk about like no more sneaking. Like if you gonna fight, call your phase. So Caribbean's like, put me on game. Hennessy's like, there's no game. So Caribbean states that she's heard about them pretty much stating no sneaking and to call out the fades. And she said that she had heard rumblings of people pretty much telling her to be more present on camera. So Minnie then butts in and states like no sneaking. Caribbean says, but you just snuck somebody earlier. Kayla then pops in talking about something you speaking on shit when you haven't even ran any fades. This whole logic that they had going the rest of the episode made no sense to me. She can't have an opinion because she hasn't fought anybody yet. Like nobody has tried her, so if she has an opinion on what she's watching, she has every right to state it. Like y'all are very, very ignorant and very immature. Like the way that they think is very childish. But hold on, what happened? I lost my space. Kayla gets in her confessionals and talking about my mouth is sore. You need to shut your bitch ass up. Da 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 da. I'm like, if your mouth is sore, then shut up. Why are you talking? But Caribbean then tells her like I haven't fought just because I haven't fought. I haven't fought because I don't have to, basically. And Kayla tells her, so shut up. Caribbean immediately throws a drink. She threw that drink and she said I had to bring that dog out in that confessional. So she got a clean hit in on Kayla too, which had her crashing out. Security's pulling her away. Caribbean says, I've been waiting on a reason. At this point, y'all been wanting her to fight, so she finally had a reason to do it. And she's right to do what she did. But she then states, let me bring that dog out. Let me bring her out. And I saw on social media this week that she actually can box, which it makes sense. It makes sense. The quiet ones, you got to watch out for them. But Caribbean's popping her shit to Kayla because Kayla's all the way on the other side now, running her mouth. So Kennedy is still in them confessionals. Talking shit, talking about Caribbean can't talk about a fight because she ain't fought the whole time, yet you ducked half of the people that wanted to fight you. You shut up. You have no reason to talk. You have no reason to talk until you run them phases you need to run. But Hennessy then tells Caribbean that she ain't got in the field to be speaking on shit. You shut up because you're a cornball. Hennessy's a cornball. But Caribbean then states like I don't have to shut up, and she don't. Like she can have an opinion if she wants to have one. But Caribbean then states too, I ain't fought because I ain't had a problem with nobody. But Hennessy then sitting there talking about something she needs to shut up because she ain't catching fades. You go catch that fade with Zanaya. You still haven't caught her one-on-one fade with Zanaya. You jumped her back, which I mean, I guess it's an eye for an eye because she jumped you. But why don't you run a fade with her? You shut up. Like, you shut up. But Caribbean then stays like, I ain't got to shut the fuck up. If anybody got a problem, line that shit up. Talking that pretty shit. Pretty shit. But Hennessy then talking about how she's not arguing, yet you didn't go over there and fight her when she told you to line that shit up. But Caribbean then states that Hennessy's on deck. Basically, it's your turn. She starts taking her jewelry off. And then they show a scene, the next scene, where Hennessy is all the way over there with Kayla now. What happened to that mouth, Hennessy? What happened to stop talking it? Run them fades. Run that fade. Run it. But Caribbean is over there roasting the fuck out of Kayla. Said that she got a BBL. She's still fat. She said they got the right bitch because I'm like that. I'm on that with y'all now. And you ain't got no twerk for me. But they all head out on the party bus to go out. So when they're coming back, everybody's trying to get on this Caribbean hate train. They all start bringing up shit that apparently she had said, which is weird because it's like, if you really had an issue with it, why don't you state that shit in the moment? It's like they all trying to bring it up now because they now want to have an issue with her because she's now speaking. But Lauren then talks about how Caribbean stated that she needed that from Yaz, which we all know that happened as soon as they got to Cancun, which she already addressed with Yaz, so it's a moot point. But Kennedy is sitting there talking about how she needs that with me. She gonna need that with me. Ain't nobody getting that with my bitch, Yaz. You don't want to fight Caribbean. You don't want to fight her. I'm telling you that now. You don't want to fight Lauren, but you really don't want to fight her. And I'm telling that to you for you. Like, please shut up. But Caribbean then hears it, walks up and addresses it. And she's like, I don't respect Lauren hopping on that Caribbean hate train because that shit was said 2 days ago. Facts. Like, why are you bringing it up now? But she addresses the fact that she already addressed it with Yaz, which she has. And she pretty much got that addressed before she needed to actually run that fade. It was something that she could have addressed before actually just fighting. And she did that. Nene backs her up. Nene finally talking for once, and she used her voice in a way that she needed to. And she was like, she literally put that shit on the floor like I put that shit on the floor with Lauren. No lies being told. But Nugg then tries to come in and be the voice of reason, I guess, for them, and then states like how Caribbean said that Snow and Hennessy's fight was talking about how they fight was goofy or whatever, which it was. You look at the fight, it does look goofy. Like it, and it was whack how they always just trying to pile up on Caribbean. That shit pissed me off. But Caribbean then states that I felt like the fight did look goofy because if you look at it, they was drunk. You run the footage back, it did. Like, it literally did. But Hennessy sitting over there being a weirdo, talking about something, what's goofy? Don't say goofy, because say silly, because that means something different to me. Silly and goofy is the same thing. What are you talking about? But Nugg then tells her, like, you don't have to bust your ass to be on TV, but you also been popping your shit about their rumbles. But y'all sitting here pretty much telling her that she needs to be more present on camera, yet when she's talking about stuff, getting on camera, y'all have an issue with it. It's just like she's damned if she do, damned if she don't. And I hope she runs in phase with every last one of them. But Zanaya, being a loser too, then states the Caribbean said that she didn't like Lauren. I'm like, if y'all don't just state that y'all just want to have an issue with her at this point. Caribbean says she gonna beat the fuck out of Hennessy and Kayla, and I want to see it. But Ferrari, Mel, and Yaz, they have a scene. Mel's pretty much asking her like pretty much telling her that when me, you, and Legacy deaded that shit and got over the bullshit, you keep starting the shit over and over again, which she does. And Mel was like, why you always starting shit? Ferrari then states, because you had questioned me about getting bitches on Legacy. I said, that's the bullshit she's talking about. Like, that's what she's talking about, you starting shit. Like, you started with Legacy and you doing weird shit. So Ferrari then states that she has anxiety. Yeah, we know you do. You scared of these bitches and you sitting here trying to act like you about it, but you're not. But Mel says, you think that we're not? Like, this is not our first time. Well, this was our first time getting on TV on these shows, yet you've been on TV. But Mel then asks her if she wants to keep the bullshit going. And Ferrari says, like, I never knew why you didn't fuck with me. Ferrari is a true Karen, and she was showing it here. She's a professional victim. She could not take accountability for anything throughout this entire conversation. Mel says you was always on Ivory's side, and you always be popping shit when she's around, but when she's not, you try to be cool with me. Fake. Like, literally that. So Mel basically states, I don't like you. Pretty much like, you ain't cool. Legacy would not be cool with people I'm not cool with. And Ferrari then states, well, she's not cool with me, basically trying to insinuate that Mel is cool with Ferrari. And Mel was like, I don't even like you. Like, but if we're going to fix the shit, we're going to fix the shit. So they end up bringing Legacy over there. And Legacy's pretty much stating, like, I've been sparing you because I don't want to put my hands on you, but you keep doing shit, basically, that makes me want to put my hands on you. So why are you sitting here walking up on me? Ferrari then states, because you came for me. You started the shit with her, coming for her, basically, the entire house, but that includes her as well, calling them boring and stuff, and trying to start with them, basically. That's what that is. So, yeah, she rightfully came back at you. And Legacy then states, like, you came for me countless times, and it's fucked up for you to pretty much paint your cast in a bad light, which is what she does. But Ferrari then states that that ain't got nothing to do with me. Being a victim, being a Karen, always never taking accountability for anything. But Mel then says, this is your issue. You deal with it instead of sending other bitches to do it. And Legacy then states a very valid point. It's weird how you getting big bitches on me. That is basically bullying, which is true. Like, you know, them big girls could tear Legacy up, yet you wouldn't fight any of them girls. Like, any of them. And she's swearing up and down she can beat Legacy, yet you sending other bitches to do your job for you. Like, it's crazy. But Legacy then claims that Ferrari tries to control and act like she controls shit and has control over stuff, yet she don't. She's sitting here trying to send a hit out on her and send other bitches out there, and she ain't really got no hitters to really do the job for her. I said, yeah, because she a weak ass bitch. And that's what she stated too. But Ferrari then feeds them some bullshit, stating that she speaks so positive about them and she never hears them doing it about her. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. You take every opportunity to shade them. And Mel says, I ain't never heard you say it about me, because she hasn't. And Ferrari then states, because you're never around me. Mel starts talking and screaming over her. I said, thank you. Thank you. But we finished with Zanaya still being messy, stating that apparently Kayla had told, because apparently Kayla and Zanaya were cool in this moment. Weird. Stating that Caribbean was talking about her. So Caribbean's over there crashing out at this point. And Hennessy's weak ass throws a drink in between security. They get back to the house and Caribbean is crashing out. And she says she's going to beat the fuck out of her and her little friend. Thank you. Next week is the finale. We got Snow versus Hennessy. We got Legacy versus Sai. Kennedy versus Zanaya, and Caribbean versus Kayla and Hennessy. And it look like she giving them that work. And I can't wait to see it. But if y'all haven't already, thumbs it up. Drop them comments. Share the video. Subscribe. And I'll see y'all next week. Peace.